two types, prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. So there are organelles present in cell. If organelles like nucleus or membrane bound organelles, organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, ER, Golgi complex, lysosomes, mitochondria, microbodies, and vacuoles, besides the nucleus. So these are the organelles that are present in the eukaryotic cell. Okay, but prokaryotic cells lack such membrane bound organelles, so this is why it is separated from the eukaryotes. So cell is into two types, prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Now you see, cells that have membrane bound nuclei are called eukaryotic. Cells that have membrane bound nuclei are eukaryotic, whereas cells that lack a membrane bound nucleus are prokaryotic. Okay. Now there is, so these are the organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosomes, mitochondria, microbodies, and vacuoles. So these are the organelles. But one organelle is special, different, is the ribosome. Now ribosome is a organelle and is non-membrane bound organelle. So ribosomes are non-membrane bound organelles found in all cells, so all types of cells, irrespective of eukaryote and prokaryote. Okay, so ribosomes are non-membrane bound organelles found in all types of cells, either prokaryotic or eukaryotic. Now both eukaryotic as well as prokaryotic, all types of cells. Now special thing about ribosome is within the cell, ribosomes are found not only in the cytoplasm. What is cytoplasm? Cytoplasm is a semi-fluid matrix present inside the cell. It is a swimming pool. It is a swimming pool inside organelles swim. Organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosomes, mitochondria, microbodies, and vacuoles and ribosomes. So these are the organelles swim in the semi-fluid matrix called the cytoplasm. So cytoplasm is a swimming pool in the of cell, right? So these ribosomes are found not only in the cytoplasm but also within the two organelles. It means in all types of cells, eukaryote and prokaryote, ribosomes are present in the cytoplasm, but it is also present within two organelles. So ribosome itself or organelle which is present in cytoplasm but within the other two organelles as well. So organelle within organelle. So two organelles, which are them? So these are the chloroplast in plants and mitochondria in animals and on rough endoplasmic reticulum. And rough endoplasmic reticulum ribosomes are involved in protein synthesis. Actively protein synthesis is done in the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and smooth endoplasmic reticulum is involved in lipid synthesis. Okay, so these are the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. So these are the prokaryotic and eukaryotic. So these are prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Remember that cells that have membrane bound nuclei are called eukaryotic cells. Membrane bound nuclei. Nuclei, what is nuclei? Nuclei contains chromosomes, that contains genetic material, that contains DNA, that contains gene, that makes proteins, and that's how human body works. Protein, right? So this is all nucleus. Now nucleus is present in organelles also. Nucleus is present in cell. Okay, so the cells that has nucleus are eukaryotic cells, whereas membrane bound nuclei, it is membrane bound nuclei that is eukaryotic cells. Cells that lack a membrane bound nucleus, it means nucleus is present in eukaryotic cell as well as prokaryotic cell, but the difference is the membrane bound nuclei. Membrane it is a covering. Okay, membrane it is a covering, and inside it is the nucleus, that is the chromosome, that is the genetic material, that is the genetic information. Okay, so cells that have membrane bound nuclei are called eukaryotic, whereas cells that lack a membrane bound nucleus are called prokaryotic. Okay, and we have already discussed these organelles. Okay, now okay, so ribosomes we have already discussed. Now animal cells contain another membrane bound organelle called centrosome, which helps in cell division. So centrosome, match the pair, goes with cell division in animal cells, right? So generally in animal cells, and centrosomes are non-membrane bound organelle just like ribosomes. So in here you can see ribosomes and centrosome, these are two non-membrane bound organelles. Membrane bound organelles are endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, ribosomes, mitochondria, microbodies, and vacuoles. These are the membrane bound organelles. Okay. The smallest cell is the mycoplasma, 0.3 micrometer length. 0.3 micrometer length. The smallest cell is mycoplasma, and mycoplasma like the cell wall. Mycoplasma like the cell wall. Okay. Now, so this was about the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. And one more thing is, then who is prokaryotic cell? Who are prokaryotic cells? So there is a group of prokaryotic cells. So prokaryotic cells include, are represented, this line is very important. The prokaryotic cells are represented by option 1 bacteria, option 2 blue green algae, option 3 mycoplasma and PPLO. Okay, so the prokaryotic cells are represented by bacteria, blue green algae, that is BGA, mycoplasma, and PPLO, pneumonia like organism. Okay, so this was this. And the shapes of bacteria are important. Okay, now in Monera kingdom, bacteria is the sole member, but bacteria found in everywhere and in various shapes. Okay, they have the different types of shapes. So these bacteria based on the shapes are bacillus. Bacillus type of bacteria, these are rod like. Okay, coccus type of bacteria, these are spherical in shape, that is circular in shape. You see the lines. Vibrio, in here this vibrio type of bacteria, these are comma shaped, these are comma shaped. Okay, and spirillum type of bacteria, these are spiral in shape. It's like the spiral, you know, it's like the spiral. Okay, spirillum, spiral. Coccus, circle, spherical, right? Bacillus, rod like, and vibrio, comma shaped. You have to remember this, right? Now one thing is that, so this was it. Now again one thing. Okay, so we have seen this. It's not going to work. Let's fix it. So the cell theory, straight question. Sheldon and Schwann together formulated the cell theory. Who formulated the cell theory? Sheldon and Schwann. Sheldon and Schwann together formulated the cell theory. Okay. Now, who is Rudolf Virchow? So, first question is Sheldon and Schwann together formulated the cell theory. Who formulated the cell theory? Sheldon and Schwann. Now, the second question is Rudolf Virchow in 1855 first explained that cells divided and new cells are formed from pre-existing cells, that is hominis celluli cellula, and he modified the hypothesis of Sheldon and Schwann to give the cell theory a final shape. Okay, so the final cell theory was like all living organisms are composed of cells and products of cells, and all cells arise from pre-existing cells. So second point is all cells arise from pre-existing cells. This was given by the Rudolf Virchow in 1855, and this is how he formulated the cell theory given by Sheldon and Schwann. So it is modified by the Rudolf Virchow in 1855 and stated that cells are formed from pre-existing cells, that is hominis celluli cellula, and that was the final second point of the cell theory, that all cells arise from pre-existing cells. And the first point was given by Sheldon and Swan, that all living organisms are composed of cells and products of cells. So this was it. So this was the overall conclusion of cell theory. We have seen the cell theory. Who formulated the cell theory? It was Sheldon and Schwann. Rudolf Virchow, he gave the final hypothesis of the cell theory in 1855, stated that cells are formed from pre-existing cells, that is omnicelluli cellula, right? And the final cell theory is all living organisms are composed of cells and products of cells. This was given already by Sheldon and Swan, and second point was given by the Rudolf Virchow, that all cells arise from the pre-existing cells. And and in this paragraph we have seen the two types of cells. Cells can be prokaryote, eukaryote, right? So this was all about this section.